So you're stuck in the first stage of self-improvement, the self-improvement struggle. You know about self-improvement, you've seen the results of it. You might have experienced some results of it yourself, but you're still stuck in that depressive period. You haven't dropped your addictions. You have, for a couple of days max, and then you're jacking off 5 times a day again, and then you're playing League of Legends again, and then you're taking whatever fucking drug you're addicted to again, and you just can't seem to get away from it. If you want this video to help you, if you want me to help you, lose your ego. Your brain is the reason why you are still here. Distrust your brain. I can't tell you any advice up until you can trust my brain over yours. Your brain is the reason why you are still in this period. You still have depression. None of this, not meditation doesn't work for you. Shut up. Your brain has convinced you, and you are still in this position because you keep listening to your brain. So you must distrust your brain and hopefully put your trust in someone else. That's scary. If you can't do that, then there's no point watching my videos. Hopefully I've become the trustworthy guide for you, that hopefully just stop thinking about what your brain says and just start thinking, okay, what is Hamza's brain recommending to me? Let's begin. You've made fake attempts at stopping your addiction, and it's usually the type of attempts that I criticize on my channel, and yet you keep doing them. You deleted the social media apps. You uninstalled League of Legends. You threw away the junk food. You threw away the drug that you have in your house. Congratulations. You're a pussy. When you're ready to stop the addiction properly, please take this advice. Do not throw them out. By deleting social media, you're a pussy. Because the reason why you're deleting social media isn't because you're done with it. It isn't because you no longer use it. It's because you think that just by holding the button and pressing the X that, I'm cured of the addiction, Hamza. Are you happy? I deleted social media yesterday, Hamza. I don't even use that shit anymore, Hamza. I uninstalled League of Legends, Hamza. You're a pussy. You want easy validation from me, maybe from yourself, maybe from someone else. You want easy validation without actually doing the work. What we want is League of Legends installed on your computer. What we want is Instagram and whatever the fucking apps you use installed on your phone. And we want to slightly, very slightly, build up that willpower in you where you go onto the apps less. At this stage, if you're stuck in stage 1, your mindset is your biggest problem. It's your brain that's the problem. But there's a part of your brain that could just choose to stop listening to itself. And I hope that you can just turn that part on and start thinking, you know what, whatever thoughts, whatever impulses I get in my brain has led me to this moment. If I keep listening to these impulses, I'm going to stay here. My brain is not good enough. Now, there's this guy on YouTube, and maybe I've had a coaching call with him. He seems to know what he's talking about. You must just turn that on, because the next thing we've got to talk about is streaks. If you're stuck in stage 1, it's because you haven't taken the good advice of forgetting about streaks. You still want your nofap streak. You still, but I got to day 3 yesterday and now I've reset my streak. You're still talking about streaks. Streaks are entirely toxic. You will fail the streak. I will fail the streak. That's why why would I set a goal that I would literally 100% of the time be failing? How silly is that? When you set a streak, you're literally saying to yourself, of course I'm going to do this thing one more time in my life, so I'm going to set this goal, and there is a 100% chance that I'm going to fail it eventually. But you get to say that you're on day 7 of nofap. You get to say, it's been 3 days since I played League of Legends. I've worked out 3 days in a row. Congratulations. You want that social validation again because you're a pussy. Forget the 90-day challenge, dumbass. Forget the nofap, the month of nofap and stuff. Forget all of that. You aren't good enough for the streak. You aren't good enough for 7x, whatever days you want to get to. You aren't good enough for that yet. You've got to lose your ego and think, you know what? I am a piece of shit. I've got a porn addiction. I've got a fucking League of Legends addiction. I've got an addiction to weed and to some fucked up shit. I'm a piece of shit. You've got to have that in your mind first of all and think, you know what? I'm not so great. And so by setting a goal, trying to not fap for 30 days when I've got a porn addiction, it's probably not going to work out, is it? So then don't do it. Because the better way doesn't get you the social validation, but it does get you out of this depressive period. So hopefully you'd like to follow that. The better way is to forget about streaks and just think about how many times you have done the bad behaviors or the good behaviors over a given period. That's why we put our trust into these systems that you can't see right now, but we put our trust into these self-improvement systems like the habit tracker. That's what we do it on. We don't set a no-fap streak. We don't say, oh, for 30 days, I'm not going to chat. For 90 days, I'm going to go on a dopamine. Shut up. We don't do the X days challenge because we are not pussies. We're not doing this for social validation. And the reason why you're still stuck in this stage is because you keep doing it for social validation. You want people to hear your story of, oh, I was on 90-day streak, and that's why you keep failing, because that you can't succeed when you've set this dumb ass challenge. So in terms of your bad habits, let's say fapping, instead of setting the intention to go on to nofap and to do a nofap streak, what you're now going to do is track it. And you're going to see what is average for your fapping behaviors for a month. Let's say you jack off 20 times in this month. Well, then guess what? Next time, we're going to aim for 15. And the next month, we're going to aim for 12. And the next month, we're going to aim for 10. Do you see what we're doing? You are not good enough. You haven't leveled yourself up to the point where you can just make it 0. You haven't leveled yourself up to the point that you could even make it 10 per month right now. Because you can't, because of what I've just said, either offended you or because you didn't want to listen to it, you will not make any progress. You can only make progress when you lower your ego and really, really see where you're at and just think about your behaviors recently. Think about your mindset recently. You aren't that great. You are a piece of shit right now, and a piece of shit isn't supposed to suddenly be able to stop their porn addiction because you've been leveling this porn addiction up for like 5 years straight. So how are you expecting to just suddenly drop it and have the willpower of a warrior? You are not that great right now. You aren't that important. You aren't that special. You're actually a piece of shit. And this keeps hurting. If this is pissing you off right now, this is why I want you to be thinking of what your thoughts feel as I've just called you a piece of shit 5 times in this video. If you're offended at that, if it does something inside of you where you're like, wait, this guy's a prick, he's not helping it, actually this guy's the piece of shit, it's your ego. You know deep down, we all know deep down with the type of behaviors you have that you're a piece of shit. And until you can accept that you're a piece of shit and say, you know what, tomorrow I'd like to be 1% less of a piece of shit, and again and again and again, because you can't accept that, because you still have this arrogance and this ignorance to think, no, I'm actually pretty sick, even though you don't really believe it, you won't do the tasks, you won't do the work required. Lose the ego. The book Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday may help you. I highly suggest you have a look at that. It's literally like £2 on Kindle, just buy it. Trying to stop your addictions in a fake manner. It's fueled by haste. You throw out the addiction in a monumental event, but inside your mind you knew that it was not the last time. When you uninstall League of Legends, you knew that it wasn't the last time you'd ever play that game. When you delete Reddit or Instagram or Snapchat, or you unfollow your ex, you knew that was not the last time you ever do that behavior. And so you do it because you want the social validation. You do it because you want to tell someone, huh, I deleted Instagram. But if it's some kind of monumental event where you delete something, you throw away the addiction, it's not going to work. You are still addicted until you can have the thing in front of you and you choose not to do it. If all you do is throw the chocolate bar away, then you still have an addiction. You're just right now not going to indulge because it's not in front of you. Congratulations, you're cured for 3 hours up until you go and buy some more chocolate, or up until you download League of Legends again. That isn't the fix. How many times have if you've been watching my videos for a while, how many times have I said that we don't uninstall this stuff? We keep it on our computers. I still have all of the video games on my computers. But Hamza, willpower gets drained. Willpower is limited. Yes, it is. That's how we level it up. You've watched the one video by, he is a fantastic YouTuber, but you've watched that one video by the YouTuber, What I've Learned, and he said that willpower is limited, and it is. But that is how we level it up. That's like saying, oh, but wait, if I go to the gym tomorrow, my muscles will be sore. If my muscles are sore, then that means they'll get weaker. Yeah, dumbass. Because they get stronger afterwards. So when we deplete our willpower by having the chocolate bar in front of us and just fucking looking at it, eventually we might indulge. But if we spent the entire day just this willpower of inside of us, just learning what our mind is like, just staring at the chocolate bar and just thinking, like, being mindful of our cravings, eventually we're probably going to eat the chocolate, and at the end of the night our willpower is going to be depleted. Perhaps we might even do some of the bad habits, but tomorrow we're going to wake up with a recharged willpower, and it's going to be slightly bigger than it was yesterday because you've just slightly leveled it up. You've just been training the willpower skill. Too often I'm seeing guys who don't even want to induce or think about willpower at all, and they want easy little systems. They want technology to help them. They want to delete the apps because it's going to add some friction to the habit. It's going to take me a few more seconds to download it again, huh? And how many times have you deleted the app? How many times has it really helped you? I haven't used Snapchat in a while. I still have it on my phone. I haven't binge ate in a long time, and I still have all the foods that I would binge eat on. And that's why I've cured these problems, is because I've kept them in front of me so that my willpower keeps increasing every single day. You're hiding away from it because you don't want the discomfort of just acknowledging that your willpower is, like, you know, being used right now. But that's how we level it up. If you're in this stage one of the self-improvement struggle, please forget about women, forget about getting laid, just hold it in, be a fucking monk. If you're literally depressed right now, if you feel like you've got a porn addiction, if you feel like you've got a weed addiction or a binge eating or mental health problems, thinking about women's gonna make it worse. You've got bigger things on your plate. This is on the red pill. This is like something that's so heavily talked about on the Ask TRP subreddits, where all these dumbass little 19-year-olds are talking about wanting to get girls and this and this and this. And it's like they haven't even checked off the step one of self-improvement, which is work on yourself. If your mental health isn't right, if anything isn't right, your success with women is trash. Because let's say, perfect scenario, you meet the girl who's going to save you from dementia. Oh, you know, the one special girl's going to help you, yeah? Perfect relationship, you're going to fuck it up. Because you're depressed, because you're in this depressive struggle period, your frame is trash, you're not masculine, you're going to fuck it up and feel even worse. Wouldn't you like to just wait and meet the girl when you're already doing good? How about you go hook up with a girl? Oh, you get the big boy confidence, me big alpha male, me have sex with lots of women, congratulations. You're gonna have this empty, nihilistic feeling afterwards. This darkness feeling where you finally got everything you wanted and you realize it was literally just a stinky wet hole. Congratulations, your depression is worse. Now life feels pointless because you've literally gotten the height of the masculine experience, which you actually believe that is the height for some reason, instead of thinking it's achieving your purpose. And so you feel like shit, and you're not going to enjoy it because you've got mental health problems, because you're literally going to be having sex with a girl whilst having insecure thoughts, whilst having like mindlessness. You have the confidence to go approaching, well, you're going to get blackpilled immediately because you've got such a horrible mindset right now. Women should not be in your life at all in stage one. And I know that there's going to be some random retard who, oh, but I'm in stage one and my girlfriend. Shut up, bro. You would level up so much faster if you just put 100% of your focus onto this. And it's almost like a meditative practice when you see your mind bring up the fact that women and sex exist. If you feel like you need to go for a fap, it's because you've got an addiction, not because you're actually that horny. Just sit there and just feel the craving. You don't actually have to do something. When you feel horny, when you feel the need to go and watch porn, try this, don't do it. We've built up this habit to think, okay, if I feel like I should watch porn and jack off, I should watch porn and jack off. Instead of thinking, okay, if I feel like I should watch porn and jack off, I should be curious to actually see how that feels. Why is that coming? Let me actually feel that craving. Just stop doing stuff. If you're in this stage, probably the best thing that you could do is sit around and do nothing. Now, most guys in this stage won't do this. They won't take this advice because it doesn't seem valuable. And so they'd rather keep clicking on the YouTube videos. Hopefully, if you can just trust what I say as someone who's been through this stage, as someone who's helped a couple of guys from this stage, do nothing. Turn everything off. Just sit there with a piece of paper and a pen all day, every day. This isn't a short-term thing. I'm not saying, oh, you know, check off the journaling box and do it for 5 minutes. No, I mean, this is like your base attack now. This is like the activity that you just do. Like, there isn't much else that you do in your day apart from literally just sit there and just journal every messed up thought that you have in your mind. At this stage, if you've been stuck in this stage, now you can experience the stage, fair enough, but if you're stuck in this stage, it's because something is wrong with you mentally. Yes, that's offensive and you're so annoyed that I said something's wrong with you, but healthy, happy people aren't stuck at this stage, and there's something wrong with me too, because I was stuck in this stage for a fucking year. If you're stuck in this stage, your journals are going to be so incredibly valuable to yourself and to the world. And if you could get into the habit of journaling for hours every day, make it like literally the thing that you do, like you are now a journaler. You literally journal for every hour that you have free, you journal, and you free up time to journal. That's what's going to get you out of here. And you are going to be so grateful that you've got a couple of journals after this, because you might be able to achieve what I've done here, where because you've experienced this, because you've journaled it so much, you've now got an exact resource and the perfect mindset to help someone else out of this struggle. And there's a lot of people here, and this is somewhat of a priceless pain point to solve. This can very easily be your business within the next 12 months. This is my own personal story, but you might not believe it right now because, you know, you're in this stage. But if you're stuck in this stage, just know, as someone who was stuck in here, once you do the right things, you'll look back and you'll be grateful for it. This will be one of the most important parts of your life. And that's a very important mindset. You're stuck in this stage, you're probably a young man. You probably got this ego and this feeling of importance that right now it's all supposed to work. And even though you'll disagree with that, you'll say, no, I don't expect it to work right now, but you do. Your biggest issue at this point is your mindset. Now, environment is important. An environment will change quite a lot. If suddenly you moved away from wherever you're living, if you moved to somewhere else and you were by yourself or you were with family or whatever, something changed, that would probably be a big spike. But the issue with that is that it would only be a big spike in that it might allow you the logistics to work on your mind. And so really that means that the mind is the most important part, because where are all your problems coming from? Now you're going to say porn, you're going to say food, you're going to say whatever the symptom is, but those are all, that's the word, those are symptoms. Your porn addiction, your League of Legends addiction, your social media addiction, whatever the bad habits you're doing, those are only symptoms. Every bad thing that happens, at least that we do purposely to ourselves, is a symptom of something wrong in here. And you probably know what it is. You probably don't need me to tell you it's something to do with abuse, it's something to do with trauma, it's because you think you're a piece of shit because your dad abused you, something like that. Now, of course, it's different for everyone, but it's something like you probably have noticed, like something just jumped inside of you and you were like, wait, this motherfucker knows like something too much about me because he just spelled it out. It's something about that. And if you don't dive deep into that through journaling, it won't resolve. Many people don't ever really experience this stage. They go from not thinking about self-improvement, not knowing self-improvement, and straight onto stage two where there's some, like kind of struggling with consistency, but they're at least trying it. The people who get stuck in this stage, it's because of the mind, it's because of the mental health. Only a few people seem to get stuck in this stage, but they get stuck hard. And the issue with these people is that, again, the problem is the mind. And imagine trying to coach someone whose problem is the mind, whose problem is his own ego, that he doesn't believe that he's in stage one. It's very tricky, but the answers are all there. You could use this one video and a couple of my different other videos as the guide to your life right now, but only if you can reduce your ego to think that this is actually what you need. Because if you're in this stage, you're probably thinking that this video was made for someone else. Hopefully not now because you've watched this far of it, but that's the issue with helping someone in this stage. They didn't watch this far of this video. They already clicked off because they wanted me to say, oh, straight away, cold showers will save you. Reading this book, this one thing, this one quick trick to 24-hour reset your mind. They want to hear that. They don't want to hear that you're a piece of shit and you've got to be less of a piece of shit tomorrow, 1% less, and it's going to take you hundreds of days potentially to stop being a piece of shit, and you're still going to feel like one afterwards. It's an unsexy answer because you've been sold this lie of like the 24-hour change. That's what it's going to take if you're stuck in this stage. I wish I could hug you right now. I wish I could just tell you that you will come out of this stage with gratitude, but you need to suffer. If you're stuck in here, honestly, you need to suffer. That suffering's going to be the most profitable suffering you ever experience, but with this young man's ego, you're not going to realize it. You're going to be so depressed and angry about it. You're going to be angry about your anger. You're going to be depressed about your depression. You can have negative thoughts because you're having negative thoughts. Your mind is your biggest enemy right now. And it's, I wish I could just almost force you to just understand that it's your ego who's telling you that the basic habits of self-improvement aren't good enough for you, that meditation doesn't work, that journaling's pointless, that like if you're stuck in this stage, you have not been consistently exercising, meditating, and journaling every single day. Now you'll say you have. You'll say that, wait, but I did meditate. But you meditated once. You meditated 20 times. Congratulations. Meditate every single day for the rest of your life. If you refuse to do that, you will stay here. If you refuse to journal, you will stay here. Oh, but I exercise. But you exercise twice a week, 3 times a week. You've got to be exercising at least 6 times a week. There's no reason not to exercise 7 times a week. Just because you're on some fucking weightlifting program which tells you, oh, PPL or whatever, it doesn't matter. Humans don't take rest days. Weightlifters can if they're competing. Gymnastics, whatever. If you're competing in a real sport, you can take a rest day. But that doesn't mean that you should then just be an inactive, weirdly human being who just sits there on his computer chair. How could you not have depression with the things that you're doing? Get a picture of all of the habits and actions that you've been taking. How could you not be in this stage? You deserve to be in this stage. So just make yourself deserve to be in the next stage. And just stop listening to your brain. Set the plan and know that as soon as you deviate from the plan, it's your lizard brain. Get used to telling your own brain to shut up. Get used to listening to your words and thinking, you know what, I don't trust what I've just thought. Be critical of your own brain. This is some of the best advice I've ever gave out of my mouth. Listen to what I've just said. Be critical of your own brain. It's your own voice in your mind that is the lizard brain that's telling you to skip the workout, that's telling you that this video is not important. It's telling you that you don't even need to journal. It's telling you that meditation doesn't even work. It's telling you that you may as well give up hope, that you may as well just go jack off again, that you may as well just go play League of Legends. It's going to be your own words in your brain telling you to do that. Don't listen to your brain. Be very critical of every thought that you get. Spend just a bit of time planning the course of action, and then just make it so clear to yourself that this one page, if you deviate away from this plan, that is your lizard brain. That is failure. No matter how logical it sounds that, oh, we're going to skip the workout today because tomorrow we'll do it, or we're really tired today. It doesn't matter. If you don't do this plan, you fail, and hold yourself accountable to that failure. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.